It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. Current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
And some call him the Space Cowboy, and some call him the Gangster of Love. But we call him Murray. Hello, Murray.
Yo.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
All right, we got a jam-packed agenda today, so I'm going to try and make it a goal to get in under an hour tonight. So
I think we can do it.
we're going to jammer hard.
Jam it.
So we're just going to do a quick agenda for what we're doing here. Movies we saw last week, movies coming out this week. We're going to do some streaming. We got some Jim and Bryce Open Rage. Got the Murman Minute. We got submissions to the Undoubted / Mesmerized and a newly formed section called the Doubted List. And I have a nomination for that as well. Did Helena make the list of Mesmerized or not? I guess we'll have to find out.
Stay tuned.
And what is this Doubted List I've heard so much about? I know we got Rage.
I forgot it was a thing, to be honest. Is that really on this week?
It is, and Rage
Sweet.
or Dare.
I don't recall hearing about it.
Followed by RMM, and then we're done. All right, well, what came out last week? Well, let's talk about the ever controversial Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Yes. So the big question on everybody's minds is, was Ricardo Montalban better than Michael Pena?
They're different.
They're very different. I actually I didn't mind this movie. It was a little too slow for me. I think there wasn't nearly as much horror as I was hoping from this.
I thought it moved along maybe too quickly.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Gotta slow things down.
No.
Let things percolate.
No, it needed some bigger perkin, for sure.
No. That wasn't the problem with
Although
it.
there was a bunch of problems with
There's
it.
a few.
But overall, let's rate it first. I gave it a meh.
Meh.
Yeah, it was a meh.
It was total meh.
Yeah, so Mur, you probably would have raged for it. You would have raged all the way through it, buddy.
I would have raged because I wouldn't have gone to it. But
Exactly. I think this kind of summed it up for me near the end of the movie, and there was a lot of, kind of just like, what's happening? And who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Why is this all happening? And then it was just like, it just became like, to me, like almost every other horror movie that became predictable, and it was kind of like, it was like, as they're walking into the tunnels, I don't know, for like the 10th time or something, and the one person goes, let's not separate. And then everybody separates like within 2 seconds. And I'm kind of like, why did you even say that? If you were all going to just separate anyway, like, why did you say that?
Because it's a horror movie and that's what happens.
Because they're stupid.
Yes. It was just
That is the prerequisite.
Oh, it was... I just got so angry
It's
at
like,
that part.
should we run out the front door or should we go up the steps? Of course we're going to go up the steps. Run out the front door, there's nothing going to happen.
The plan is stay together. And then, what? Where'd everybody go?
Yeah, well, it happens. They got separated. Sometimes you want to stay together, but circumstances dictate.
No. That was just... Actually, I actually did laugh at that part in the movie because I
think it was supposed to be funny.
Well, I don't know.
Because it was immediate. It's like, 1 second they're like, okay, we got to stay together. And literally the next second, everybody is split up.
Everybody's split up.
I thought it was excellent.
There was some good parts. There was almost a face peeling, which I was pretty excited about.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. And I did like some of the creative murder ways they were going to do some torture.
There was some good in it. There's no question. I didn't, but at the end of the day, it was,
And okay, so Michael Pena, we're both Michael Pena fans. Murray's not, but he was just meh through the whole thing.
I thought he was fine.
He was emotionless. He could have been anybody. Again,
Yeah,
they could have replaced him with a potato. There was
Was
no...
he a potato?
Yes, he was a total
wasn't
potato.
A potato.
Okay.
That's not good considering he's supposed to be the star.
He
of the
moved the
No, he
story
wasn't.
along.
He wasn't. Okay, so when people
In no
see
way
Michael,
was he the star.
Michael Pena, people see Michael Pena because he's funny, or he's all that crazy Hispanic guy, and he wasn't either of those. He was just like I'm bored because I'm trying to be Mr. Work, but he wasn't really Mr. Work. So
He was solid, is what he was.
He was a giant fucking swinging potato. That's what he was. Because you could have literally anybody could have played that character.
I think it was my favorite performance in the movie.
Well, it could have been the favorite.
Ironically, if they had replaced him with anybody else in the planet,
Then you would have
except
went
maybe
to it.
Affleck, I may have actually gone to it.
Okay, well, you'll be thankful. Well, I don't know. Like literally, it could have.
Yes.
I probably still would have hated it.
He
but-
didn't add to the role, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there was, like when you have a character actor like Michael Pena, you expect to get the full force of Michael Pena in your face, and he was not there. He just wasn't.
I was satisfied with
Phoned it
all
in.
that Michael Pena put in my face.
Ugh.
It
Wow.
was fine.
Well, you're dumb.
And so it begins.
And so this rolls forward. So yeah, it was a
Meh.
meh. Yep. Okay, but something that we were both very excited about. We got to go to a cuff event.
Guns Akimbo. Yeah, it was a off-the-cuff event, actually, which is something that Cuff does every now and then.
And Cuff is Calgary Underground Film Fest.
They are indeed. You
They
should
are our very dear
check them out.
friends.
I believe they even got a bunch of their past movies on like iTunes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a Cuff section, so you can
Yeah.
actually search Cuff films
and-
on iTunes. Yeah.
And if it was a Cuff, it's probably worth checking out for the most part. They program a lot of interesting, excellent films,
Yes, they do.
just like they did yesterday with Guns Akimbo.
yes. Tell me what you thought.
I thought it was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
It really was. A little fast paced for my taste.
It
But
was so good. It was
but
so fast
it
paced.
really was. And just funny bit after funny bit. It's just really, really enjoyable.
And it's the New Zealand director, right? So he did
Deathgasm.
Deathgasm. We both seen that one too. And
And it was meh. But you know what? That was the first thing he did as far as I know. And it was a good starting point.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's progressing nicely.
you could see him gaining his chops in that movie because that one was also an action-packed kind of demons flick,
Yeah,
right?
It was indeed.
Um,
And there was a lot of originality in that too. I kind of liked some of the stuff he did in that movie, but he's taken a monster step forward
Huge.
with Guns Akimbo.
Yeah, seeing this to me, it was like I think I even said it in our Instagram. I'm like, I like Daniel Radcliffe. He's been picking some really cool films
He's
lately.
been doing some interesting stuff.
He is just he's on my 11 creep crush now. So if he's in it, I'm gonna see
I don't
it.
understand any of this creep crush stuff. but
Well, of course you understand it.
I don't understand. What do I?
How could you not?
I just don't get it.
Okay, so do you want to see a movie with Daniel Radcliffe in it next?
Yeah.
And don't you think he's a creepy guy?
No.
Yeah, he's creepy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like Steve Buscemi's creepy, right? And
Is he?
And yeah, well, yeah, I know you have a tough time judging creepy because you're so creepy. But most people,
I just see a lot of myself in these guys.
So you would think they would have the same level of creep crush that I have for them.
So do you have a creep crush on me?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have one on Mur too.
Huh.
You can't tell right now because we're sitting at a high table, but I'm creep crushing you both.
All right. Fair enough.
Reese Darby in this is like, okay, so here we're
Is
gonna.
that the homeless dude?
That's the homeless dude.
Oh, he's so
in.
hilarious.
He's in all the stuff. He usually
Was he
Taco
in-
puts him in a bunch of his movies.
Right.
He's from New Zealand as well.
Was
he's
he
a
in
Kiwi.
that Hardcore Harry?
I
I seem to remember him in it. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else though.
I'm not sure if he was in Hardcore Harry. I'm looking it up right now, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
That's all right. You don't have to look.
Like
it up.
he's been in so many things. I'm not seeing him.
He's always gold.
Yeah, like he's going to be mentioned a little later in the show. But I mean, everything he
Is
says
he?
is gold. Yeah, he is. He's just like he's one of those
Why?
character askers. Well, you're going to find out, aren't you, bitch?
I better stay tuned. I better stay awake for
Better
this
stay
episode.
awake for this episode. Yeah, so Guns Akimbo, it is a bloody shoot 'em up Mondo for me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a major Mondo for me as well.
Yeah,
It's-
there's And what's her name? Samara Weaving?
Yeah, she was.
Holy crap, I
she's
love
great.
her.
And I mean, you must have seen Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah.
And she was so good in it. I'd never seen her before that, as far as I know.
Did you not see The Babysitter?
She's so good in The Babysitter.
Oh, the
Oh, The
babysitter. That was her, wasn't it?
Yes,
wow,
it
that
was.
just went right over my head.
Well, she was
excellent in that.
She's
too.
a knockout in The Babysitter. She looked like a homeless person through this whole movie, but okay, so
she's
this
an
movie.
attractive lady.
We talked last week about our friends from Birds of Prey. This is the movie I thought Birds of Prey was going to be, but instead of her, it was going to be everybody else from Margot Robbie and team. Mm-hmm. And so I was a little disappointed because this is what I thought. I thought it would be action packed from nonstop. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen.
Yeah.
It was just
this thing rolled along. There's no question.
You know, she was also in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing.
Was she really?
Yeah, she played
Holy
Penelope.
crap! Apparently, I've seen her in like 1,000
Yeah,
movies.
and she's in Mayhem, which now
Was
you can
she
watch
in
on
that
Strike.
too?
Yeah, she is, man. She's in a lot of stuff.
We were just talking about Mayhem. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one you should check out. It's on Shudder.
All right.
So yeah,
I've already checked it out.
so we had a meh and we had a Mondo for last week.
We did.
So let's talk about what's coming out this week.
All right.
We are going to be talking about A Call of the Wild.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to really talk about it.
It's
'cause
coming out though, right?
I do not want to see it.
Well, it looks so bad. Like what? It's just like it's weird. It's almost looks like it's completely computer generated from the previews, yet it's not an animated film. So I don't know what we're doing. It looks ridiculous, like the dogs in it, and I don't know. It looks dumb.
It's again a remake of a movie that's already been done,
It is,
and it doesn't need to be done.
yeah. No, it's
At least Togo, that was done by Disney, wasn't done before.
Well, if you're gonna do an animated movie, do an animated movie.
Well, it's a CGI. It's not animated.
It's the same thing.
Pretty sure Harrison Ford is playing himself.
I'm pretty sure it's
Playing with
Harrison
himself?
Ford's actually CGI in it. He doesn't look like himself either. I think the
You
whole
mean
thing's CGI.
They pulled a Scorsese on us,
I think
and
they
they're
pulled a
making him.
Scorsese.
They're making him like
I
20
think-
years old.
I think they smoothed out his face a little.
He just shaved.
He's looking pretty haggard these days.
Well, the movie he's supposed to be like a guy from the wild wilderness, right? So
Yeah, no, but I think he doesn't look quite like he's. I don't know.
I have no interest to see this movie ever.
No.
Yeah,
It
so-
looks bad.
Keep that in your noodle if you ever
Yeah.
need to dare me to see something. This would be one.
Yeah.
Yet I think it looked interesting.
Well, there you go, Mer. So maybe you can see that this weekend and tell us your thoughts on how terrible it was. Slash, whatever it was. If it's better than the original, I'd probably not.
Yeah.
There was an original. I just know the book.
So I have a feeling we already know what we're going to be seeing this weekend.
Yeah, I don't want to see it either.
I know, but we got to see something. Actually, there's a couple.
Do we have to? Can we not just take a week off?
No, we can't take a week off. So
All
we're
right.
either going to. Well, I think there's some stuff, and I wasn't prepared. This is terrible. But
Yes.
there's a couple of things coming out at the Globe that could be good this week.
Okay,
so
well,
I'm not sure if Murray can.
Let's sneak something else in. 'Cause
Murray's looking up the Globe right now.
If next week's episode is based around Brahms the Boy 2, then we've got a problem, I think.
Well, here's the thing. If you go back and listen to some of our earlier podcasts of this year, we were inundated with some. Originally, we thought we're going to be phantasmagorian.
We were looking
little
forward
tiny
to,
creepy
yep.
kids.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of missing on the creepy kid factor.
We've been disappointed. We've been disappointed.
So this is like this. If this was 10 years ago,
The bar's been lowered now.
yeah, exactly. It's like creepy kids is my genre. It's like I live for creepy kids. I grew up a creepy kid, so I kind of like to see myself back in my
There
old
you go.
days. But this
Plus, we get Katie Holmes.
Mrs. X of Tom Cruise,
That's it.
I don't know. What has she ever done that's been good?
Oh, that movie with Michael Douglas. Yum, 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 yum. What's it called?
Yum, yum.
What's it called?
I don't know. It's called something with
It's
Michael
called
Douglas.
something with Michael Douglas. Katie Holmes and Michael Douglas. He's like a English professor. Or he writes books or something.
Okay, and what happens in that?
A lot of good stuff happens. I don't remember. We learned some life lessons if memory serves me correctly. Wonder Boys. It's called Wonder Boys, and it's excellent.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't bad. That was in Michael Douglas's good era. He's had a few. He's in the bad eras right now.
Oh yeah, but no, that movie's excellent.
But she's been in a lot of movies that have been terrible.
Oh yeah,
like Underdogs or How I
what?
Says, Mrs. Meadows, The Giver, Jack and Jill.
Was she in Jack and Jill?
The Son of No One, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, Extra Man, The Romantics.
She was in Batman Begins.
There you go.
Till they replaced her.
Another terrible one. Did you find out, Mur, what?
What? Who? Where?
What? Who? Where?
The Globe. Yeah, they're playing something called Nose to Tail.
That looks good.
Does it?
And something about a seagull and a raven.
Seagull and a raven.
That also looks good. So we may be seeing two things at the Globe this weekend. Some independent stuff. We've been seeing too many crappy...
Independent weekend.
Too many crappy...
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not going
releases.
to Call of the Wild unless...
And something happens.
Yes.
So, yeah, well...
Brahms the Boy 2 it is.
Or...
Sword not looking forward to it.
Stay tuned for next week, because we're going to surprise you what we see this weekend.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is exciting to us right now.
No.
That's true.
Well, then let's talk streaming, because there's always something exciting streaming.
Yes.
Always. Now,
plus, when we talk streaming...
we get to listen to the dance music. Dance, monkey, dance. I'm in my happy place right now.
This music will do it to you.
Yeah, so we both saw this movie, but at different times.
Yeah, I saw it a few weeks ago.
Harriet.
Yeah, Harriet.
And we talked about Lemonface winning the Oscar back a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and you made a very good point. Because I was like, I'm okay with it. But then, you know what? Cynthia Erivo, she probably should have won.
She should have won.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, like, for the passion that was felt, I mean, the category this year, it was all kind of just a mad year, really.
ScarJo was pretty good, though.
Yeah, Escargo's good. Yeah, it's for lead. Yeah, it's true. Escargo could have got it.
She's got to win one of these days.
Well, I didn't think... Like, this year was the year of acting for her, for me.
Oh, yeah.
I never,
2 nominations, 2 categories.
She kind of proved that she can really act.
Yeah, she can't just kick ass. She can also act.
I mean, she was always solid. She was a good egg, and she was always good in everything she did. But, you know, did she ever blow me away? No, she didn't.
Yeah.
But did she blow me away last year?
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did. So, yeah, I mean, Harriet Tubman, I just love the story. Like, it's such a...
It's one of those things where you'd have to screw it up pretty badly to not have me at least like it a little bit, to be honest. And it was well done. It was a good movie. And there were a lot of really good performances in it.
Oh, yeah, solid from the entire cast.
Yeah, there's no question.
And obviously, like, afterwards, it made me want to go back and learn more about Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
And she was just an amazing...
That's what a movie like this should do. And if it does that, then it did its job.
They don't actually know when her birthday, like when she was born.
I know.
And they kind of know when she died. So she's somewhere between 82 and 92 years old when she died. Like,
crazy, eh?
She's... Like, for her to live the life that she lived,
I know,
and then for her to live that long,
such
it's
a
like,
long life too.
It's
yeah.
You know, if there,
she's an awesome lady.
Yeah, like, and she became like a general. Like, she got honorary like the things that she did, and yet. So here's this interesting thing about American. How do I word this without offending any of our American friends? But you know, the whole racism that's been just coded through the Americans since slavery was ended, right? Like with segregation and all these things that were happening. And to have someone as powerful as her right at the turn of the century in the 1900s.
Yeah.
And all what she did for bringing those people to slavery.
And that's the perspective you got to take here. I mean, this was unbelievable.
Yeah, like there was still slavery,
she
and she lived right up until the 1900s. So I mean, she was around at the turn of the century, and they gave her an honorary general, and yet she couldn't vote before she died, and she couldn't, couldn't sit at the front of the bus or
amazing
wherever.
lady.
Like it's an amazing story. Everybody should see this one, and she should have won the Oscar.
And being Black History Month, I would definitely suggest.
Yeah, people get out and watch it. Go rent it.
To learn about the history.
Cool.
Agreed. Catcalls. So it's a short. It's not a. You're an
You just made me watch this like right before we went on the air here.
As did I.
And it was...
It was good. You got to see Wiener in it, so you don't get to see that very often. In a short.
That's...
Not what we're looking for.
Yeah. How does that make anything better?
Well, sometimes it just adds to the story. It's just like a really cool little quick revenge story.
Was it?
Yeah,
Is
of
that
course
what
it was. Yeah.
I thought it was
It's because you don't know what to expect. You think this guy, okay, here's this
I think
creepy
I did
guy.
know what to expect.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I think
Did you know that the girls that he passed was going to come back and turn
Yep.
into cats and then kill him?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, you
Totally.
Well, I know what they were going to turn into, but I knew. So I was hoping for vampires.
Okay, I didn't know they were going to be cats, but then when they, in a minute in when we actually saw them transform in the middle of the street,
Then you knew something was
then I
going to
was
happen.
like, okay, this is dumb.
Well, I liked it. I didn't love it. It was a meh for me, but did it make you rage?
I didn't care enough to rage.
There
so
you go.
meh.
It's a meh. So that's this is the first short that we've actually reviewed on the podcast. So.
Yeah, we should do that more actually.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that Shudder does have, and actually, I'm not sure if I've seen many on Prime, but Netflix has some shorts too. So maybe we'll look at a few for next week.
All right.
So getting on the Korean film kick because of Parasite.
Yes, you're like all Korean all the time. Every week you got some new Korean movie. You watch.
No, not always. Last week it was Spanish.
Was it? All right. fair
Right?
enough.
Last week it was Spanish because we watched.
No, you had a Korean movie mixed in there too, I think.
Well, we talked about Parasite probably. So.
No. There was something else. I'm positive there was, but
Wait a minute. Did we talk about
I think we did, but I'm getting old
who doesn't
and dumb.
like? Oh, The Host. We talked a little bit about The Host.
I wasn't talking about the host, but whatever.
Anyway, so
go on.
So this is.
I'm just dragging us down right now.
Yeah, you are sucking the life out of me right now. So this is by the same director who did Train to Busan.
No, really?
Yes, really. So I've been trying to find this for a long time, and then look, lo and behold, it showed up on Netflix.
Psychokinesis we're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
That's the same director?
Yeah, and it.
Well, why didn't you tell me that? I would have watched it.
I don't have to tell you. You've got your own internet. You can search shit. That's what I'm telling you. When I tell you to see something, you better see it.
Well, you didn't tell me to see it.
Oh, there you go. So there you go. Now you have a reason to see it. So interesting. So Train to Busan came out in 2016.
That is true.
This came out in 2018. So it looks like he's doing, although he did bring out a couple animated film. We brought another animated film out the same year he did Train to Busan.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I mixed him up with Boone the other day.
Yes,
so
you did.
he's the one that has a lot of the animation.
Yes, I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Jim?
Yeah, so Psychokinesis, it's a superhero movie. And it's kind of it just comes kind of a little bit out of nowhere. It's kind of like a down and out kind of father role that he ends up getting the superpower, and it just naturally progresses. I didn't love it. Like, I was hoping this was going to be, I was going to fall in love with this movie and say, okay, look, this guy, I want to see everything he does.
Gotta see everything he does, but that wasn't
Yeah,
the case.
it was, I'm going to give it a meh.
Yeah.
Because this is what I think about it. I think that what he did with this movie is he wanted to make a family superhero movie. It's very family friendly. You could sit down and watch this with a 10-year-old and they wouldn't be offended.
And this is what he did after Train to Busan.
Yeah, so I mean, he puts out Train to Busan, one of the best zombie horror films of all times.
With blood splattering
With blood
everywhere.
splattering everywhere, with some of the creepiest zombies
And he
ever made.
And he follows it up with a family-friendly superhero movie.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
it's a feel good. So
That's cool, but it was just
Yeah, it was it'd be good to see with a 10-year-old at your hip because
Right.
I think they would enjoy seeing him grow. Actually, my wife liked this one, so I'm not saying she's a 10-year-old, but she.
Let's not get into trouble here, Jim.
Yeah, exactly. No, my wife is not 10 years old, but it has this kind of the sad hero, the underdog kind of feel to the movie,
Right.
And it kind of carries its way through, and it's like a family coming back together because the daughter and the father who've been separated for a long time because he left them and he was a dick, then he comes back into her life, right? So
Sounds kind of sweet.
there is some surprising there's one or two moments that's very Train to Busan, which I won't say because if you see this, it's probably worth seeing it. But one of the things I'm noticing about a lot of the really good Korean films coming out is that family dynamic.
There's always a family dynamic,
and it kind of makes me think that certain cultures, like in Canadian culture in general, we don't have the same connection to family that some of the Asian
that's
communities
more
do,
than fair,
right? I mean, where there's certain rules in their religions where they live with their mother or their mother lives with them, and like in us, we're like, I don't want my mother living with me. Like we didn't get raised that way.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like this new wave of Asian and Korean films, and actually we talked about that one, the Chinese one. Farewell.
Farewell.
Yeah, same kind of thing, right? Like you get to see the dynamics of these families coming together.
Yeah.
And I kind of like this wave. I think this may be what America, and to a lesser degree Canada, needs right now with some of all the things and hatred that we see on the news all day long. I don't know, there's my political pitch for the day.
Yes, you kind of went off on a tangent there.
I went all preachy.
But I agree.
Yeah. So the first rule, if it's a Korean movie, it's probably going to be pretty good.
It's going to be worth watching, it seems, these days.
Exactly. Well, it's time for you know what?
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
My rage this week is preparing Bryce and where's that music coming from? Oh, Heavenly Father. My rage is children's movies touted as family movies.
Okay.
There needs to be a disclaimer. Like, had we known, we still would have had to go because Murray made us go see it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to eat up all the rage for Sonic because there's going to be so much rage.
There's so much to come.
So much rage to come. But okay, so here's the difference. When you go see, and I think of like, what's that Touchstone? Like if there's a Touchstone or family movie, there's going to be some comedy in there, and it's going to maybe appeal to some people. But there's movies that come out that is like, this is a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. And really, you're torturing the parents by making them watch these movies. And it should just be kids. Like you should be able to drop these kids off at the movie theater, and they can go crazy in the theater,
right?
Or rent it at home. But there needs to be a disclaimer on these movies that adults, please, just like we have to put warnings on fucking horror movies. There's too much gore, or there's too much sex, or there's too much this. We need a warning that says, adults, you are going to hate this movie, and you shouldn't have to go see it. That's one like there's too many of these that have been coming out lately that it's like, okay, they kind of try and advertise it like you're watching it and you go like, oh, that could be funny.
Yeah, there might be something in it for the adults as well.
There could be something in there. Like Disney.
And wasn't there in Sonic?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait to find out about that. But what?
All right.
I don't know about you, but like, there's a lot of good animated stuff that I still want to go see. Like what was that one that was Disney? Is it Inside Out or whatever it was? That was a kid's. Was it called Inside Out?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a great movie. It was like it was a kids movie. It was made for kids, but adults could get into it. And really, it is a very family focused. Or The Incredibles, both 1 and 2, they were fantastic.
For the most part, if Disney made it, there's gonna be some adult humor sprinkled in. They don't generally just go right for the kids. They are about the family.
Yeah, they want to make sure that dad comes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's enough dads leaving their families that we don't need to make them leave because they've had to watch a movie that they should have had a warning about.
That's the thing about Disney is that you're always going to get that with Disney. So you don't have to worry when it comes to Disney. Other things you do have to, they will mislead you in the advertising. There's no question.
Who's that one? What's Spielberg's one? Is it
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Yeah, DreamWorks is the same thing, right? Like they're the ones that did Shrek.
Yeah. I think so,
Yeah, they did do Shrek, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, even Shrek, man, like that was made
Yeah.
for kids, but it was funny. Like,
Oh yeah.
they had the characters like Mike Myers,
Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy.
and there didn't need to be a warning there. I'm not, but like, okay, so here's a perfectly good example because if you've seen Zombieland 2, right?
I have seen Zombieland
and
too.
at the end, when they do the joke about Garfield 3,
Yeah.
that's another one. Garfield, it's like, there should have been a warning there. No one's going to like this movie.
Yes.
Why is anybody seeing this?
What about the second one, A Tale of Two Kitties?
It was also terrible. Like, they need to have warnings. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, instead of the parental discretion or, like adult accompaniment or warning it has to be on there something like, children, please do not bring your parents to this movie. Please have someone pay a babysitter to take you to this movie. Someone who's maybe not mentally stable that could actually withstand the movie is what I want to say.
All right.
Would you,
So
okay,
a teenager.
a teenager. Yeah, maybe a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old that's what I'm saying, is that there should be a warning on these movies and that there should be a lot more babysitting money rolling into 12 and 13-year-olds who need to buy new sneakers or whatever the 13 and 12-year-olds buy.
Maybe just an age limit. If you're over 12, you're not admitted to the cinema.
Yeah, that's what's wrong. Yeah, see, but do you not agree with me? There should be a disclaimer on these movies.
There should be some sort of warning.
This is not funny, and it's
that's the whole thing. They mislead you. You're like, this will be fun for the whole family. No.
no, it will not be fun for the whole family. It won't be fun for anybody in the family except for maybe 6-year-old boys.
Yes.
That's it. Like very, very finite segment of the population.
Yes, indeed.
Well, that's it. I'm passing the baton, buddy. What you raging about?
Well, I'm not going too far off topic of where you were, but can we stop making video games into movies? Oh my good God.
The answer would be no.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Your point from before, a couple weeks ago, we write so many books. Can we not just make books into movies?
What a concept.
Why are we making these two-dimensional, no character development? There's nothing there to make a movie out of it. And they just continue to do it. The best video...
How about Doom?
Doom was terrible. You know what the best video game movie in my opinion was probably Assassin's Creed. And you know what Assassin's Creed was?
Terrible.
It was awful. But that was the best. That was the best video game movie ever in my opinion.
No, there was one of the Resident
What?
Evil movies. I don't know which
You know
one.
what? Actually, I'm going to give a pass to the Resident Evils. There about 2 of them were okay.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I still saw them all because I'm a huge fan of hers. But
Yeah. But yeah, and then you got our buddy Uwe Boll making just the most ridiculous, all the computer games like House of the Dead and Alone in the Dark, and he
built his career on that.
He built his career on making, because he knew he could make some quick buck, and who can blame him? I guess, but it's got to stop. I mean, Double Dragon and Super Mario Brothers.
That's kind of where it started.
Oh my God!
Gamer, do you know where it did start? Who was the is it the Jean-Claude Van Damme one?
No, Mario was one of the first ones.
Mario was one of the first
One of the first ones, yeah, because it was one of the first video games ever.
Yeah.
What was the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Street Fighter.
That was Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's got to be a long time
That
ago.
came after, I think.
I think it did come after it. I don't have any dates in front of me. They're all just
Okay, keep
so
raging. I'll see if I can find something.
bad. And then it gets to the point where we've got Prince of Persia, where we've got frickin'
With a cast of white guys.
with a cast of white guys, exactly. I mean, how on earth is Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia? It's just so ridiculous.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
So,
So yeah, no, I mean the list goes on and on. They're all awful. They're all beyond awful. Blood Rain. There's another classic Uwe Boll. So bad.
Why do you keep talking about him? He hurts my eyes.
I don't know.
Have you seen Postal?
Yeah, I saw Postal, which is also based on a video game.
Ugh, so bad.
And it is so bad. But you know what? With Postal, at least he just kind of went balls to the wall, all out. At least it wasn't totally boring like a lot of the other ones he made.
And you did get to see Dave Foley's wiener in it. So
For some reason, that's a thing with you.
You are again, yeah.
I got to appeal to everybody, right? Some people like wieners.
I'm not sure. I believe that you're probably the only one that wanted to see Dave Foley's wiener.
I just was so surprised by it. I was kind of like,
Was it a pleasant surprise?
I don't know. It was pretty pleasant, I guess. It was just like, whoa, dude, like, what's happening here? You used to be kids in the hall, and now you're a wiener on the screen? Like, what's going on?
I believe his story is he was fleeing his ex-wife, so he moved down to the States, so he owed all kinds of alimony and stuff. So
he had to make that
probably
movie.
had to make it
move.
to pay the
Uwe
alimony.
Boll gave him some money. But you got to show your wiener. And he's
Yeah,
like, well,
he's like,
I got
whatever.
bills to pay.
I got bills to pay, and I've got a wiener, so
Yeah.
let's bring this magic to the screen.
I think that makes him a whore.
Yeah,
A little
well,
bit. I'd say that about Foley for sure.
Yeah.
I was correct, by the way. Super Mario was the first movie.
I
There
couldn't
you
find
go.
it. But you know what I
In
found?
93. Street Fighter was 94.
You know what I found, though?
What did you find?
I found the ranking off of Rotten Tomatoes from the worst to
Right.
the best of that genre. So the very worst that's ever been made was 1 tomato, like the green blotch.
Okay, what
was
is
for
it?
Alone in the Dark.
It was unwatchable. That's got Christian Slater in it too.
Yes,
doesn't
it does.
It's like, oh my God,
Wait,
what
that
were
was
you
Uwe,
thinking?
that was Uwe Boll too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
He's
Number
made
2.
such bad movies.
Number second worst.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, that
House
was
of the Dead. 2003.
Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll. Actually, all the ones at the bottom. So I'm just gonna keep reading. Oh no, that Mortal Kombat Annihilation was John R.
Yeah,
Leonetti. But House of the Dead.
So he's
in
got
the
two of
name
the bottom
In the
three.
Name of the King.
Okay, that I don't
You've
think that
got
was him.
Blood Drain.
Blood Rain. That was Uwe Boll.
And that was
so he's
Uwe
got
Boll
3 out
too.
of 5.
Yeah, and then there was Street Fighter: The
Which-
Legend of Chun-Li.
That was before Uwe Boll. Oh, Legend of
wasn't-
Chun-Li. That was more recent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Yes.
Postal. There you go.
There you go. What is
Uwe's
that?
back.
4 out of 7.
Yeah. So
He's batting over 500 on the worst of all time.
Where you're saying he doesn't read books, he plays video games.
he's
Wow.
like he's like the Donald Trump of directors.
There you go.
He's kind of hilarious because he's got guys that will back his movies as long as and they all make money, which is kind of crazy because everybody knows how bad they are. That's part of the appeal, I suppose.
Yeah, every single one of these is on this list is terrible. Dune
Yeah.
was like number 25.
Yeah, Doom was so bad.
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Doom complete with the first person frickin' shooter thing go at that one point in the movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of Lara Croft.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Yeah, Silent Hill,
Silent Hill was bad.
Dead or Alive.
5 or 6 Resident Evils.
Oh, there's your Prince of Persia.
Oh, so bad.
Angry Birds 1 and 2.
Angry Birds.
That didn't even occur to me. Yes, Angry
It's not a
Birds.
video- it's a freaking app. It's not a video game.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Whatever.
Is that enough
Anyways.
for your rage?
Yeah,
Did you get it out?
Just stop it. We
Just
do not
raging.
no more frickin' video games because they don't even seem to write a script for them.
You don't have to. Just play the game.
It's bad.
If only you can control the movie as it's playing.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Why don't you just get the video game and play it at home?
Hey, there's an idea.
Sounds way better.
There you go.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
We got some time for the Murman Minute.
Oh, how about that?
All right, Murr, let's have it, baby. What's on your mind? A lot.
Lots. Always on my mind.
Oh, what are you going to
All
share
right,
with us this
I can't
week?
wait.
I'm on bated breath.
On bated breath. Well, this week, I'm going to talk about the Oscars.
Again? Is this going to be every week now? You're going to talk
Kidding.
about the Oscars?
You should see the looks on the faces of my fellow Rangers right now.
Just ship
I
my
was about
pants.
to rage on your Merman Minute.
I know. Well, you always do.
That would have been
anyway.
next week's Murman Minute Rage. All right, let's have it,
No,
buddy.
actually, this week I had a chance to watch a classic. I had tape. It was on TV a while back.
Oh, cool.
From the 80s, I hadn't seen in a long while. It was Punchline.
Oh,
with
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and Sally,
Sally Field.
Yeah.
I love Sally
It was
Field.
1988, same year that Tom Hanks did Big.
Right?
And it was sandwiched kind of between all of his other hits, like The Burbs, Dragnet, Joker's
Wait a minute.
Volcano.
But it was so
the
much
Burbs
better
was
than
not
all
a
those.
hit.
Burbs was awesome. And of course, who could forget Turner and Hooch? Okay, so maybe it was pre-Oscar Tom Hanks.
Yes, it was.
But still, I loved all those films. But he hadn't done anything really serious up until then. It also starred Sally Field, who of course won her 2 Oscars, and then this is before she did Steel Magnolia and Mrs. Doubtfire, so I've loved her since Smoking the Bandit, but not as much as I love the car, though.
Fair enough.
But I digress. It was also the first of 2 films they would do together, the other one being Forrest Gump, where she played his mother.
His mother, yes.
It tells a story about a typical New Jersey housewife married to a boring insurance salesman and decides to try to stand-up comedy to try to break out of her boring life. And Hanks plays a young, up-and-coming, neurotic comedian at the club who eventually helps her out. Despite the title of the film, it's actually quite a serious drama.
Yeah, it is.
It shows the unglamorous underbelly of the stand-up comedian's life. Doing shows for $20 a set for, in front of nobody, basically. And it was either a comedy with a seriously dramatic story or a drama with an outrageously funny background. Not sure which one. And
You decide.
the character that Hanks plays is obsessive, certainly self-destructive, and can be considered mean-spirited at times. But they both put in outstanding performances. Even John Goodman, this is one of his first film roles, right about the same time he's doing Roseanne.
He's
Yeah, it was
delicious.
actually a really
he was,
good cast.
He was a good fit in there. Didn't get a lot of love at the box office on IMDb or even most critics,
Oh, really?
including Roger Ebert, who hated it. But
He's
whatever.
a dick.
Yeah, well, he's
Toots.
dead now, but anyway. So I really enjoyed it the first time, and it really shows how great an actor Tom Hanks could be when he wasn't doing straight up like comedy. So it was kind of a sign of things to come. I mean, worth checking out. That's all I got.
That's all you got. Wait, we want to talk. We want to join on your parade.
I've actually probably watched Punchline 3 or 4 times in my life, and it's not a lot of movies that I've watched 3 or 4 times in my life. So
I haven't seen it in a year, like
yeah,
saying a lot.
20 or 15 years at least. But
So here's a question for you two.
Yeah.
Do you think that Punchline, with it being one of his first real dramatic roles, do you think that was what gave them, and obviously the dynamic that he had with Sally Field, helped to cement him for Forrest Gump?
oh, I would imagine it absolutely did.
well, yeah, they obviously had good chemistry doing this. So then when he was doing it, probably she was the first one that he called. I mean, I don't know how much of an age difference this is, maybe 20 years.
And
but
it was
Was Zemeckis involved in Punchline?
I don't know.
oh
No, it was
no,
written by somebody else, but I don't know who directed it.
Yeah, I don't believe he was involved in it, but yeah, no, it definitely showed his chops right there.
Yeah, yeah, because
it was probably his first serious turn,
Oh,
even though he was
definitely.
playing a stand-up comic.
No, it
but
definitely
it
was.
was his
because,
first
yeah, he was screwed
serious
up.
turn.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
And then
and he was excellent in it.
He
'Cause
started
I s-
taking more serious roles after that.
I
so.
seem to remember before that movie came out, and the only reason I went and saw that at the theaters was because Sally Field was in it.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, sorry, Murray, you may hate me, but I couldn't stand
Oh.
Hanks. I thought he was the worst
a-
actor that was.
Well,
I
there's-
didn't
there's a
always
lot-
like him.
There's a lot of bad. I mean,
He
Money
made-
Pit and
Joe versus the volcano.
Joe versus the oh god,
Hello, Splash.
yeah,
Yeah,
Splash.
Well, the good thing about Splash was John Candy as well.
Well, John Candy's was awesome in
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good one, Mur.
No, I didn't always like Tom Hanks. I still haven't seen either one of his Oscar-winning movies.
You haven't seen Philadelphia?
or
probably-
Forrest Gump.
Wow, you haven't seen Forrest Gump either?
Gump was
What?
it was so overhyped that it's like I don't want to see it now. It's
That's a
one of
movie
those
I
things.
could watch.
It kind of ruined it for me. So
That's a feel-good movie for me. I can watch that anytime. And I don't ever want to see Forrest Gump 2. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't know if they even made it into the movie, but the book came out.
Oh, there
and he
was a second
loses.
of the movie?
Yeah, there's a second book to the Forrest Gump, and he loses everything.
oh,
I'm like, I don't want to see that movie.
no
That's not the
fun.
movie I want to see.
that's no fun.
You're lying to me right now.
No,
right?
I'm not lying to you.
There's a Forrest Gump 2 book.
Yes. Yes.
What?
Yes. And I thought they were going to make a movie out of it, but
Well, I'm sure that's why they wrote it.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I think perhaps Forrest Gump, I don't know. The truth is, if one of our buddies who's a screenwriter, maybe Timmy's listening, he'll know because he knows every screenwriter who ever wrote everything. So if
Forrest Gump.
if this was
What
a
was the
book,
book
first,
called?
I don't remember. I just remember
That's
seeing it in
all
I just remember seeing it in the grocery stores.
Right.
Not that long ago. Well, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago now because Forrest Gump's so old. But
it's not that long ago.
Yeah, it is for me, I guess. But yeah, Forrest Gump's one of those movies to me that's like, it's a feel-good, and I don't normally like feel-good movies, but that one for me is just like, he conquers all. And just like
Yeah.
his relationship with everybody, like Lieutenant Dan, like the the shrimp boat scene when he jumps
Love
into
Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise and him were so good together.
Oh,
And Sally Field, she's just.
yeah. Well, Sally Field's just good in everything.
You know, we might have to talk about her in a minute here.
Yeah. What was that movie she was in recently? That Dora movie? No, Doris.
Yeah.
Something,
She was good in that too.
She was excellent in that.
You know what? Where I fell in love with her was Sybil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gump and Co. There you go, Mur. Thanks.
Gump and Co.
Gump and Co. It's called. Yeah. I fell in love with her in Sybil. If you've never seen that, it was it was a made-for-TV movie, so I'm sure Mur's seen it. Where she has like split personality. It was like one of the first movies that was put on that was split personality. So
Yeah.
anyway, thanks, Mur. That was good.
Cool.
All right. Well, we're moving on to submissions for the Undoubted and the Mesmerized list. So where this anticipation has been building for an entire week. Is Helena Bonham Carter going to make our Mesmerized list or not? And the quick answer is...
Yeah. Okay.
done. Put a nail in her. She's in the Mesmerized list. So our Mesmerized list is actually building much faster than our Undoubted list.
Well, in fairness, it's easier to get onto the Mesmerized list.
It is. Well, not necessarily.
It is.
It's becoming easier, but we took a long time to even come up with our first few names on the Mesmerized list.
We did.
Because most actors are not mesmerizing enough to be on the list.
The thing is, it's once you're on the Mesmerized list, it's harder to get off.
True enough.
With the Undoubted list, it's pretty easy to get off. You make one bad choice and you're gone.
Yeah, it's
Just
true.
ask Charlize Theron.
Yeah, ask her. She's been... Well, I think maybe we jumped on her too.
I think she's pretty devastated right now
I think
by
she
that.
may lose some sleep over
Because I'm
that.
sure word got back to her.
Of
I'm
course.
sure.
Did you know you got taken off the
You
film
got
pages?
bounced.
So I'm going to make a nomination for the Undoubted this week. So we're going to have to go back and do some research. So I'm going to nominate Sally Field on this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I can't think of a Sally Field movie that if Sally Field's in a movie, I want to see it. So that's right off my mind, made me want to think about it. But I think of all the movies she's done in the last little while, and I can't remember one that's bad. So I think we're going to have to go do our research. So
Yeah, let's do the research. She's pencil her in and we'll see what happens.
You may change your mind about one of my favorite movies.
Why?
She
What do
was
you
in
mean?
that.
Well, but how long ago was it?
1980.
Okay,
Well,
so that's a long time
That's
ago.
a distant memory. There's been many
It
since.
only took one rage to put him on, to take him off, though.
No, but they have to make
it's got by one rage within the last
8 films.
movies.
So if she's made 8.
So you're saying that Charlize Theron has to make 7 more awesome movies to get back on?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay, then.
Well,
Challenge.
challenge thrown down. Well, wait a minute. So, but Charlize Theron, did you rage off of Bombshell? No, you just
No,
you
I didn't.
meant.
I didn't.
No,
rage
it
off
was
of
that
Bond.
other one.
So she just needs 7.
Unfortunately, she's got another Fast and the Furious movie coming out this
right.
year, so
But
there's a good chance I'm gonna rage.
I actually saw the trailer. It didn't look that bad. Like, I'm not a big... I never saw
All
any
right,
of
I'm
the
gonna
movies,
watch
but
it just so I can hopefully
Well,
Charlize Theron
Mer-
can.
That may be a challenge.
Mer,
for
we'll
me.
get Bryce to drive that night, and we'll make it a drinking game. We'll bring our flasks into the theaters.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry, whoever's the theater is.
I don't partake, so
He's
I'll
not
be the
partaking.
designated
You'll be the
driver.
designated driver, and we'll see how
All right.
drunk we get by every
right.
time they do break the laws of physics that we actually take a drink.
Yeah, if you guys can't make it out on your own, I'm not carrying you.
Oh, we'll just bring a wheelbarrow
Are
with
you
us.
kidding?
Fair enough.
We know how to drink.
Yeah, exactly. As long as we don't puke in your car. How are we
Yeah.
going to fit it all into your car? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know.
really.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking
A
there.
little smart car.
You can rent us a limo.
There you go.
All right, so we got
Done.
Sally Fields. Our homework for next week. We all got to go back and take a look at her IMDb page and see if she's Undoubted or not.
All right. I can do
And then we've got a new one that we're putting for her, which is now the Doubted list. So we've made an Undoubted list. We should have a Doubted list.
that. Makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, and so this week I've
Why
got a few
focus
nominations.
on the positive?
Exactly. What?
It
That's
is
not.
film rage after
That's right.
all.
We do like to rage, and
just tear 'em
so
down.
I've got a few to nominate this week.
A few.
Number 1 is James Marsden. Number 2 is Tiffany Haddish. We've already talked about her. And number 3, Bryce's favorite director and actor with the six-pack that likes to deliver is TP himself.
Tyler Perry. Well,
That's
Tyler
right.
Perry is definitely doubted. There's no question that
Well,
he's on the list.
you've already proven Tiffany Haddish is.
And Tiffany Haddish Tiffany Haddish can take down directors that have made good movies in the past.
Yep.
So yeah, she's on.
So James Marsden.
James Marsden's a funny one because I want to like him.
I wanted to. He's adorable.
But
so I think we
boy.
have to make it.
has anybody made worse decisions in their career though than James Marsden?
No.
Oh, everything's so bad.
So I think I'm going to throw out there that we keep the same rules that we sort of have for the Undoubted, but just in reverse.
Right. So if they make a good movie,
If they make a
they're coming off the
they're
W.
coming off the list.
I like it.
But it has to be a Mondo. If they make a they stay
They stay
on.
on. So if they got to make a Mondo
They have
movie,
to make a Mondo movie for them to come
they
off.
come off the
Undoubted
list.
list.
Well, Tiffany Haddish, you're on the list for life.
Yeah, so is
Pretty much.
TP. So
Yeah, Tyler Perry, because since he writes and directs all his own stuff, the guy's
And stars.
yeah,
Isn't
he's and wait,
He's so
should
awful.
I do it? Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll.
He's not made a good movie, buddy.
No, he hasn't. Unless you count his documentary, but he didn't make it. But he
No.
was in it, and it was excellent.
It was excellent.
Like it was,
But he
it
didn't
was
make
beyond
it.
excellent. I mean, we came out of that. Just,
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta watch some of these Uwe Boll movies again. And then I think you did.
I did. I
What
watched
a
most of them.
mistake.
That's when I saw Dave's Wiener. I was like, come
Yes.
on. Uwe, why'd you do that to me, buddy? My childhood love for Kids in the Hall just was spoiled. Don't you've seen one of your star heroes naked wiener? You just can't look at them the same way anywhere.
Yeah, Uwe Boll's too easy though.
Yeah, true enough. Okay, well,
We'll leave 'em off
That's
for
enough
now.
for this list.
Yeah.
So we got another new segment that we've got, which we're calling Rage or Dare. So we've got a little bit of a double whammy here. So because last week Murman,
Yep, for our debut
for
episode
a
of
debut
it.
episode of it, he dared us to see
Sonic the Hedgehog.
And I'm gonna let you start with this one out, buddy, because
I was in physical pain. I was sitting there shaking my. It was so awful.
I looked over at you once and there was twitching. And thank God Kim was there, because I think you might
I
have.
think Kim was worried about me.
She was, actually. She turned to me and says, something's going wrong with Bryce.
I was twitching. I was uncomfortable. It was so god awful.
You know, I knew in the first 5 minutes that this was going to be terrible. So Sonic's running around his home world,
Yeah.
and then he goes and sees his mother figure, which is an owl, which I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
And then she's like, you've got to get out of here because all these people are after you because you're fast and stuff and junk. And she's like, okay, well, you got to come with. She's like, I can't.
Why?
And I'm like, why? This makes no sense. Like, all these people are like miles away from her, and she's standing in front of this giant gold circle that she opened up for him to go through. And then she's like, no, I can't.
I can't go through. Okay.
And I'm
but
like, why not? You're gonna be killed
Pourquoi?
you're gonna be killed by these things. So as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, something's wrong with the script here. Right in the first 5 minutes, this is going nowhere but downhill.
horrible
from there.
script. Just the worst dialogue.
Yeah, of any movie. Although
oh my good.
I did get one line that I'm gonna use for life.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I'm going to use it in reference, not necessarily specifically to you two, but you be you, Sless. That was the only line
There you go.
that Jim Carrey used that made me laugh. That was the only time I laughed in the whole movie.
I actually laughed 3 times in the movie. I don't even remember what they were now.
Were you
but
laughing at how bad the script was?
I think twice I laughed at how bad it was. Once I actually laughed when I believe I was supposed to.
Was it the mochaccino one or whatever? When he brought the mochaccino?
No,
it was when he went
it
to
was
the door of James Marsden.
It was the breastfeeding one.
Yes, the breastfeeding one. There was a
I
funny...
was an orphan.
Yeah. Way to rub that in my face.
Yeah.
I
I
was
must admit I laughed out loud at that point.
Yeah, so
The other 2 were completely
for
unintentional.
90 minutes of pain and suffering,
It was-
of basically
and the rest was so bad.
the dialogue was so terrible. It was I thought it was written by a 6-year-old. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, someone's 6-year-old child wrote this movie.
They should have just improvised the whole thing.
Yeah, but you know what was the most annoying about it was Jim Carrey himself. Like all of his shtick from the 80s when he was like
Ace Ventura.
Ace
What?
Ventura, and it was like
Well,
everything was being channeled through it.
Well, here's the whole thing was that Jim Carrey tends to kind of go off and do his own thing, and there's a lot of improvisation in almost every movie he does, no matter how tightly scripted it was. You know what? I think he pretty much followed the script with this one, and there was no kind of
feeling in it.
It's like, you know what? I'm getting my paycheck. I'll spit out the lines. I'll make a couple of goofy faces, and we'll call it a day.
In contrast, he could have been that guy from Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah.
He was great in Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah.
Like, where was that guy?
Yeah.
In fact, what I said to you is...
and I would venture to say in Kick-Ass 2 that he probably did a little bit of improvisation, which I think was, you know, if you're getting Jim Carrey for... Exactly. If you're getting Jim Carrey for the role, that's what you kind of expect. I guarantee none of that was him. That was all on the page.
When we were watching this, I said to you, there's two people, not that this could have made a better movie, but Jim Carrey was annoying me so much, as well as the dialogue, that it was painful. But if they would have had Jeffrey Combs in as his role, or if they had Kyle MacLachlan in playing Jim Carrey's role, because they carry around that creep factor with them, and you're just like, I could have seen that, but I think then it wouldn't have been for 6-year-old boys. That's what I think this movie was made for.
God awful, anyways.
And I think this movie is probably 30 years too old, because like they should have made the movie when Sonic was popular. Like Sonic's not popular now, is he? I don't know.
They just released their Sega Classic, so
yeah, it's classic. But the actual Sega system was in the 90s.
Yes.
Yikes.
Which was actually my first system. I never had any Nintendos. I only had Sega.
All right.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
So I played Sonic quite a bit.
A lot of Sonicking. So we have trashed that movie. It's hard rage. It's the hardest rage I've ever hearted.
Yeah, it's so God. I was in pain. Thanks a lot, Murray, you dick.
Murray gets a high five for that.
That's why they call it film rage.
That's right.
I tell you, it's the only time I've ever called someone a dick, and he's smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, he loved it. Okay, so for this week, Bryce, you are on the hot seat. So you've got a rage or dare, buddy.
Rage or dare. Rage or dare. Decision. I saw you guys laughing quite a bit before when you agreed upon the dare that I might have to partake in.
The rage.
Or do I go into the bag of 20 awful movies and pluck one out? Although I got 2 bags, don't I?
Yeah, you got 2 bags full.
I got 40 movies to choose from.
40 terrible movies?
Random, or you guys agreed on something?
We did agree on this dare. Make it snappy.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you know what? Just because I'm going to reach into a bag.
All right.
Any bag will do.
Okay, well, let's take mine first. Murray got us last week.
Okay, here I go.
This is what Bryce is going to see this week.
Holy crap, this is like quality paper.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that in my bag. Oh, come on.
Yes, it is. Please tell us what you're going to be seeing this week.
I will be seeing 2006's The Breakup.
Oh, God. This is so painful.
Who is that? Refresh your memory.
We even, I think, talked about this. Isn't it Jennifer Aniston and
Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
I do recall that now. That is the one where she supposedly walked around naked, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Yeah, one of the many hilarious bits from that movie.
I can't wait to talk. So you talk about this next week.
The Breakup.
Well, enjoy.
All right. Challenge laid down.
RMM, buddy. What do we got this week?
It.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Starting off, which I hesitate to say this name because it's kind of a soft spot for me. Chris Hemsworth.
Meh.
Mondo. Liam Neeson.
Mondo.
Meh.
Sigourney Weaver.
Mondo.
Antonio Banderas.
Mondo.
Hugo Weaving.
Mondo.
Ethan Suplee.
Mondo.
Jason Lee.
Mondo.
Meh.
Shannon Doherty.
Rage.
Rage?
Yes.
Battling cancer, for God's sakes.
So?
Doesn't
save her acting.
Exactly. Doesn't make her a
Gotta
better
give her
actor.
some love. She is not terrible in everything.
Yeah.
She's terrible.
Move on.
Joey Lauren Adams.
Mondo.
know.
Joey
And-
Lauren Adams. You don't know Joey Lauren Adams?
No, what's it?
Joey Adams was from Chasing Amy.
Oh, okay. Well, meh.
That terrible Affleck performance.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of a terrible movie.
And
all
one that
in
we
all,
both
but
had,
she
Rosaria
was
Dawson,
good, though. Oh, Mondo.
Mondo.
who is now in a new TV show, which I'm looking forward to watching.
Sweet.
that I take.
I love Rosario Dawson. She's
And
so
then
Mondo.
finishing off, we got
Double
John
Mondo.
Goodman,
Mondo.
Jason Bateman, who was not on the list before.
Jason Bateman wasn't Mondo.
He was not on the
Mondo.
list. Domhnall Gleeson.
Mondo.
Oh,
from the
Mondo.
Star
Total
Wars
Mondo.
movies.
Total. And his dad, too.
Yeah, I guess so. Oscar Isaac
Mondo.
Mondo.
and Benicio del Toro.
Oh, that's
Mondo.
a super Mondo. Didn't he make our Mesmerized? Oh, no, he hasn't.
I don't know if he hasn't yet, but yeah, what most of them have, the last three have in common.
Never occurred to me.
They-
He's
they were
gotta
all
go on some
in-
sort of list.
They were all in The Last Jedi, which I just watched on TV the other day.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Well,
All
that
right.
brings us to the end. I think we made it pretty close to an hour here.
Yeah, we're just about there. But
All
yeah,
right.
do
Well,
your thing.
thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Stephanie DeRoy for social media, Paul Gowan for his technical knowledge, Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcast, Google Play, and Spotify. Please follow us on Facebook.
That would be
Baseball.
Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please note, we are going to be starting a YouTube channel, hopefully coming this week, so stay tuned for that. We're always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment often, and please make us rage. Please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage
Rage on.
on.